Hi guys, KatimaGaming here. Welcome to our stream video podcast. Today I am joined with our super duper prestigious experts that will help me in tackling the popular topic on what's it like to be a 30-year-old or over 30 and playing video games. All right, I'm joined with our super experts. Well, they're over 30 and they play video games, so technically they're already experts. And we're gonna talk. We're gonna have a lot of fun. It's gonna be informative. We're going to share our stories and share our experiences together. And hopefully you guys can learn a thing or two about what's like being a 30-year-old or rather over 30 and still playing video games today. As a matter of fact, the reason why this topic is such an issue is because even though the average age of video gamers in the world today is actually over 30, a lot of people still have prejudice or still judge us. Some people even think we don't have jobs for some reason, you know? So we'd like to talk about it, share our experiences, and hopefully can maybe be informative to you. Let me introduce our guest for today, starting with Mr. Justin. Okay, Mr. Justin is a Call of Duty Warzone streamer. You might have seen him. He runs by JujuCon Online in Facebook, and he uploads regularly on YouTube. Link to all of his good stuff, guys. Good stuff below. He's actually very, very good. So add him on your team. He can definitely carry you. So you don't believe me? Go check his videos right now on YouTube. He's also the regular host for Pause Muna Podcast, which usually is every Wednesday on Facebook. So catch them there. These guys all came from Los Bandidos, so shout out to Los Bandidos as well. Definitely.
What's up?
He's actually in a relationship with a 4-month-old baby, so how he finds time to play video games is a miracle. So definitely him having the time to come here is an honor. Thank you so much, Mr. Justin. How are you today?
I'm doing great, KatimaGaming. Thank you so much for having me here. It's a pleasure being in your presence.
It's an honor. I mean, I watch your streams a lot, so when you sent me the message that, let's do this, like, I can't say no, of course.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Our next panel expert is a very shrewd businessman, big time. You might have seen him with his video game online store. He goes by Biscuit in his YouTube, Biscuit TV. Go check him out. He actually runs a online steak store as well. All the links, guys, down below if you're interested in steak, you play video games. The guy is definitely, he knows his thing. If you're looking for meat, this is the man. Okay.
Yeah.
He's also married and he has 2 kids. How he does, so he plays video games, he runs a video game store, he runs an online steak store. How he gets anything done with video games is amazing. So, Mr. Ian, good evening.
Hi guys, good evening. Jocham and Katima. It's just a wonderful feeling, man, being here under your Katima umbrella, you know.
Yeah, it's a wonderful. It's also an honor to be with you guys. I mean, like, wow, I watch you guys all the time, and to actually have you guys in the channel or in the stream here, actually mind blown. So we're all excited. I actually posted on my social network about Mr. Justin and Mr. Ian on my show, and everybody said, like, schedule it. They're definitely going to watch this stuff. So yeah, guys, link of all their stuff down below in the description. Okay, so Mr. Justin, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Aside from the introduction from Katima,
very flattering. I worked on that introduction, by the way. Very flattering. That's your entire CV right there. I'm like,
yeah, thank you so much.
If Alodia is watching, she wants to recruit you. Don't forget me.
Yeah, I mean, I think the introduction was really well. I think that really summed up who I am. But other than that, I'm just your regular Joe who works 9 hours in the day and just really squeezes the rest of my time online during the night, whether it's gaming on my own, streaming, or just having fun with friends. So. I have a 4-month-old baby. It's the best feeling in the world. I can't wait till that day that I
pick
can
up a
teach
keyboard
how
and
to
mouse.
exactly
Controller.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, well, congratulations on the 4-month-old baby, and definitely I see you stream a lot, and definitely like really enjoy how you actually carry teams on Warzone. I mean, really, really savage how you guys check his YouTube out. Mr. Ian, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh yeah, name's Ian. I am 37. I'm a full-time entrepreneur, and yeah, as what Katima said, I run like two businesses. I sell video games, so I have online stores. I sell steaks as well, and I run a YouTube channel. And something about me is I love to jump from one hobby to another. So I've tried a lot of hobbies already, like vaping. I bought ukuleles. I'm into action figures, comic books.
Amazing. So, yeah, going back, when we play video games, we all have our own origin stories, and I love interviewing people of my age group because our origin stories are pretty deep. Because we go from the real old school, almost OG. We almost OG on the gaming, and as we're very lucky to see the evolution come. So tell us, starting with Mr. Ian, tell us about your origin story. How did you get into gaming? Like, I'll give you my example. Mine example is very simple. My mom picked up 101. In the family computer. I don't know if in the Philippines you guys call it NES. Here in Thailand we call it the family
computer.
Yeah,
Famicom.
Famicom here as well,
Nice,
or family
nice.
computer. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically my mom bought 101, the bala that had 101 games. That was original piracy, by the way. I didn't know that was piracy back in the day. And my mom picked a random game which turned out to be Ice Climber, and we played till 3 a.m. And that's when I realized I love gaming. And I was so small back then, I was literally punching the buttons A, B back then. But yeah, so nobody knows this, and my mom will never admit to it, but it was my mother that got me into gaming, and she'll deny it. How about you, Mr. Ian? What is your origin story?
So the story is, every time there's like a family gathering, my mom and my older siblings would always tell this story that when I was 5 years old, I was the only person, I would say, in the family that can properly play Circus Charlie on the family computer.
That was such a tough game. That was such a
I know.
tough game. Impossible.
I don't even believe that I'm 5, but who cares? I'm taking it. I'm taking it. So at 5 years old, I was able to go on through levels with Circus Charlie, and that's how it started. And as you say, it's not my fault. It's their fault. They're the ones who bought me the family computer console.
Yeah. Wow, Circus Charlie. I couldn't even get, I remember as a kid, I can never get through. Like, if I can get the timing right on the first stage, jumping up and down, that's already okay. Anything on level 2 is a bonus already. So yeah, everyone's got their own influence. Yeah. How about you, Mr. Justin? What is your origin story? How did it all begin?
It all began when I think, as far as my memory can recall, we had a Sega Mega Drive.
Old school. That is old school. Wow.
Yeah, it was. So there was this game that I kept playing. It was an NBA game.
NBA Jam, I think.
Yes,
With a
NBA Jam.
ridiculous dunking.
Yes, and you can
animation.
shoot from half court, and it would go in. And
with a flaming ball.
yes, exactly.
Like, he's
So I
on
used to play
fire!
that. I used to play that hours and hours and hours, and then gradually moved on to a PlayStation 1. So our dad got us a PlayStation 1, the very first one. The square one, not the rounded one that came out in the future.
Actually,
Um,
it's interesting. Those are called PlayStation only. PS1 is the round small one, but the big
Yeah, yeah.
square fat one, they just called them PlayStation. But everyone kept calling it PS1. But the truth is, the PS1, everyone gets confused.
PS1 is the
the
rounded
small
one.
one. Yeah.
Right.
So what game did you start on the PS1? I mean, the PlayStation.
Here in the Philippines, we all got used to pirated games. I mean, you get your
right
console,
away.
you get like
Folders.
50 games right away, right?
Upon
Um,
folders.
So an interesting fact is I grew up in Australia. I spent like 6 years there as a child. So we don't have piracy shit there, right? So what I had for like a month or two after getting a PlayStation is the demo one disc, the black one. So those house like 5 to 10 different demo games.
Yeah, short games. Yeah.
And I would scroll through them over and over again. There was Ridge Racer, there was Abe's Odyssey, there was I think there was also Gran Turismo in there.
Racer.
Yeah, but I think my favorite gaming platform growing up would probably be the Game Boy Color.
Oh,
I mean, I spent hours and hours and hours
batteries
on that
upon
thing.
batteries.
Exactly. I mean, non-stop fun. I don't know why that handheld thing really took away so much of my life, and I don't regret it at all.
Yeah, but I was more of a Game Gear kind of guy with the colors.
Oh.
Yeah. I was the kid that everyone got a Game Boy, and I said like, no, I'm gonna go for a Game Gear. Like 6 batteries, 30 minutes. I don't care. For those 30 minutes, I'm the most popular kid. Yes, Sega.
Yeah.
You name it, Ian has it.
6
No.
batteries.
I'm not the only
AA.
one here with the PS5. Ian has one as well, just so you know.
What? Oh my gosh! Like Jujocom and Biscuit just walks into the PlayStation store and say, "Do you know who I am? Here, influencer, give me a PlayStation 5, or I will write a very scanting review. I sell steaks. Don't you mess with me." Let's move on to the next section here. What was, as a 30-year-old gamer, what do you think was the biggest challenge for you, Mr. Justin, with people and, like, let's say your parents, for example? Do they still look down or maybe make fun of you for still being a person who still play video games at this age, especially being a new father as well? Do you feel pressured, playing video games and thinking twice when you see the keyboard and mouse, like, should I be playing video games right now?
Not really. I don't
that's
really
good.
feel pressured. I think it's all a matter of self control, really. When my daughter was just born, it didn't stop me from getting on the computer, but the time I spent on it was significantly less.
Of course.
Right, so I would probably be on there for like an hour, 2 hours max, and then I had to get off. Right, but yeah, there are still some things that you're gonna hear, of course, especially now that I have a kid. I'm over 30 now. It was just, I think, a few weeks or a month ago. My mom called me out. She wasn't having a good day, and when our parents aren't having a good day, everyone's gonna get involved.
All hands
right?
on deck. She's in a bad
Right.
mood. Everyone out.
Right. So so she called me out and said, "You're doing nothing but playing. Is that even making
Can
you
you
any
say that
money?"
in Tagalog? Like, what is the common thing they say in Tagalog?
So in Tagalog, she said na puro ka nang laro.
Oh, aray.
Hindi ka naman magkakapera diyan. So technically yes. I haven't.
That
Well,
cuts deep, bro. Like, a lot of people don't see that this is a hobby. You like cars? You put money on cars? Go ahead. You like motorcycles? Go ahead. You like to invest in clothes and makeup? Go ahead. We like to play video games and invest in it because it's our hobby. It's like, how about you, Mr. Ian? Like, you have 2 kids now, and what's it like? And do you feel like gaming now is different in your 30s?
Yeah, man, it is way different compared to when I was a teenager. Like, actually, the challenge, like when you're over 30s, the challenge is actually playing. Like for me, like I have a lot on my plate, and I got 2 kids, so it's really a challenge to.
Yeah, the responsibilities stack up.
Exactly. But when we were like teenagers, like you would spend a lot of time researching about,
I'll
watching
print out.
reviews.
I will print out a game guide from the internet back in the day.
Exactly,
Back
because
to
you want to get your money's worth. But but with my parents, I don't know. I really don't feel anything because I'm making money out of it. So
I think it's more convenient if your business is related to it. So if you play video games, it's easier, I guess, to see that you're in that arena, right?
Mm.
In that ballpark. Do you believe, like, especially with Mr. Justin here, do you believe that being younger makes you a better gamer compared to us 30-year-olds? Like, you play with young, I mean, like, oh my gosh, the kids who play video games these days are so young. The competing, especially in COD. Do you think that age is a factor? It's not like athletes, right? Like, of course, if you're a basketball player, definitely age is a factor, unless you're LeBron James. Boxing, for example, unless you're Manny Pacquiao, right? But if it's chess or golf, for example, when age is less than a factor, what about video games? Do you think age is a factor?
I would say yes to that, not just because of the age itself or like physically, but I guess because of responsibilities. Really, I mean, the younger folks. I mean, especially if they're students, right? After school, they have nothing else to do but play, right? So I think the playtime really makes a bigger factor to it. I mean, there are memes going around saying that you're just a 30-year-old guy working a 9 to 5 job. You want to go home and relax and play some Warzone.
I saw you post that on Facebook.
and then some toxic 17-year-old just beats the shit out of you. Right?
Yeah.
So I think that's basically my answer in a nutshell.
Yeah, definitely. So age really is a factor. What about you, Mr. Ian? Do you believe that? Do you think that being older has its disadvantage compared to, because the top 100, because this is a fact, the top 100 pro gamers in the world average at the age of 23. The top 10 CSGO and Dota players average at the age of 20. And there are rarely any 30-year-olds there. So that goes to age-old question. Do you believe that age is a factor when it comes to video games?
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, like, even for myself, when I was a teenager, I can say that I was a hella great player with Counter-Strike. Compared to now, you need a lot of, hand and eye coordination.
Hand and eye coordination is the key word, isn't it? Like,
yeah, I've even tried playing Warzone, man. Damn, that's a very stressful game.
The fact that you have to keep your attention at all times, like even crossing the street, like, do we go? Do we don't go? Do we cross?
Yes.
I can't believe that I'm having an adrenaline rush, like in my house, man, on the seat. This is so crazy. Maybe I'm just a noob, but it's a stressful game.
Yeah, and then at the end of the game.
Yeah.